All right, good morning, everybody, and thank you all for being here. I want to start off by recognizing the fabulous folks we have with us. Director Catalina Rodriguez Lima from the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs, Erica Rocha from the Outreach and Operations Manager from the Esperanza Center, Carrie Snyder, the Executive Director of the Southeast CDC, Kate Jakuda, Senior Manager of Family Support Programs at Southeast CDC. We have our good friend Ruben, from the Executive Director from the International Rescue Committee Baltimore, Tara Peters, the Deputy Executive Director from the International Rescue Committee Baltimore, Jorge Escobar, Chief of Programs and Services at CASA, and Kirsten Klim, Program Officer for Quality, Lutheran Immigration and Refugee Services. We all know that the COVID-19 pandemic, and I'm going to take a pause here to say that please cut the heat off, someone in the back, so these fine folks don't sweat their lives away here. No, it is not you, Kevin. We all know that the COVID-19 pandemic exposed deep inequities across our country. And really, the pandemic exacerbated a number of economic, social, and health disparities already faced by traditionally underserved immigrant and refugee communities. The very communities that really helped to hold up our country continue to face the dangers of COVID-19 head-on to deliver essential services to us all. Communities that lacked resources and access to those resources experienced relatively higher rates of infection throughout the pandemic. 2.5 years later, new American families continue to struggle as they face an uneven recovery due to a range of systemic barriers such as eligibility rules and lack of language access, putting available federal, state, and local relief programs out of reach for many families. In Baltimore, we know that we cannot protect public health and well-being without ensuring that all residents, regardless of their situation, have access to appropriate levels of care and support. Language barriers should not stand in the way of families' ability to navigate the pandemic and access support services. Furthermore, we know the effectiveness of our local response and recovery efforts depends on our ability to coordinate with trusted community partners with the necessary tools and experience to support immigrants and refugee families who are likely to be missed by government programs and federal benefits. And as a city, we are committed to providing resources to residents impacted by the pandemic and the concurrent economic fallout. That is why I am proud to announce the creation of the Baltimore New American Access Coalition to minimize the economic and social disparities faced by immigrant and refugee families and ensure that no Baltimorean falls through the cracks. In line with our commitment to using federal dollars to address the disparate impacts of the pandemic and directly produce more equitable outcomes for all Baltimoreans, we are allocating approximately $4 million from the American Rescue Plan funds to stand up this initiative. The BNAAC we love alphabet soup here, will ensure that traditionally underserved communities have equitable access to health and human services to help them make ends meet and ensure a higher quality of life for immigrant and refugee communities here in Baltimore. In order to be effective, we are using our ARPA funds in tandem with policy and programming to produce coordinated, comprehensive progress. This initiative will be done in close partnership with our community-based organizations who are doing the great work on the ground to support these residents, standardizing case management across organizations, and leveraging our collective resources to ensure that immigrant and refugee families are able to access the appropriate resources. I want to thank MEMA for developing the Baltimore New American Access Coalition initiative to increase access to much-needed health and human services for new American families here in Baltimore, and our community-based partners for teaming up with MEMA, as you always do, to implement this project to ensure that we are meeting immigrants and refugees where they live. We will continue to recover from the pandemic through a lens of equity to ensure economic health and resources are inclusive of immigrant communities regardless of language, immigrant status, or the ability to access technology. immigrant and refugee families communities are the fastest growing demographic here in Baltimore, and this growth strengthens our local economy and diversifies the fabric of our neighborhoods, helping to drive us forward into a better future for all of our residents in Baltimore. When we invest in all of our residents, we can truly build and become a city that works for everyone. And with that, I will turn it over to Director Lima to talk a little bit more about the initiative.
Thank you very much, Mayor Scott, and really thank you for your commitment to vulnerable families in the city of Baltimore. As the mayor mentioned, immigrant and refugee families face a range of systematic barriers to receiving public supports for health and social services. These barriers often include language and informational issues, fear of government despite being eligible for services, and difficulty navigating challenging government systems and processes. These barriers can lead to food insecurity, financial difficulties, and problems accessing needed health and human services. If unaddressed, these barriers could have profound short and long-term impact and adverse consequences for the health and well-being of immigrant and refugee families, their children, their communities, and our city as a whole. The Baltimore New American Access Coalition, or BNAC, seeks to minimize the economic and social vulnerability of immigrant and refugee families by connecting them to health and social services to help them weather the lasting economic impact of the pandemic. More specifically, the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs, or MEMA, will partner with 4 community-based organizations to establish a cadre of benefit navigators to provide bilingual and bicultural case management to help immigrant and refugee residents access federal, state, and local aid. Partner organizations were selected based on target population and geography to meet the needs of new Americans where they reside. Catholic Charities Esperanza Center will support African foreign-born families concentrated in Northeast and foreign-born families citywide. The International Rescue Committee will support refugees, asylees, and AAPI communities concentrated in Central, Northeast, and West Baltimore. CASA will support Latino foreign-born families in Northwest and South Baltimore. And Southeast CDC will support Latino foreign-born families in Southeast Baltimore. The initiative will also incorporate immigration legal services to educate families about their rights to access public programs. This component is critical as new American families still struggle with the chilling effect of the public charge proposal, which sought to restrict immigrant families from receiving public benefits or risk compromising their immigration status. As such, many to this day would rather forego benefits despite being eligible due to fear of immigration consequences in the future. Having benefit navigators and immigration consults will help ease families' concerns when accessing critical support services like food, internet assistance, rental assistance, healthcare, and financial assistance. Finally, by working as a coalition, MEMA seeks to standardize immigrant and refugee case management across participating CBOs. To do so, we're partnering with Lutheran Immigration and Refugee Services, or LIRS, as a technical assistance provider to access national best practices on immigrant and refugee case management. Through this partnership, benefits navigators will be trained on case management best practices, navigating different government systems, and will be knowledgeable about eligibility criteria based on immigrant status, which can be very confusing. The Baltimore New American Access Coalition, it's the first citywide coordinated case management initiative targeting immigrants and refugee populations living in the city of Baltimore. We're grateful to the participating CBOs for being a part of this project, as they're key players in the integration of often underserved new American families. And with that, I would like to turn it over to the members of the coalition for brief remarks, starting with the IRC.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name is Ruben Chandrasekhar, and I'm the Executive Director for the International Rescue Committee in Baltimore. As many of you know, the IRC has been resettling refugees and other humanitarian immigrants in Baltimore since 1999. And over the last 23 years, we've helped to resettle approximately 20,000 humanitarian immigrants in the city. And when our clients arrive, they live, work, pay taxes, build businesses, buy homes in the city. And they're only able to do and achieve these milestones because Baltimore City government has created the policies needed to make the city a welcoming environment for newcomers. And so I really want to thank Mayor Brandon Scott and Directors Kearney and Rodriguez Lima for supporting the IRC, for continuing to welcome refugees and immigrants into the city, and going a step further by providing ARPA funds so that we could do an increasingly better job at it. In return, the IRC will coordinate very closely with the city and help achieve the mayor's Building Back Better plan in 4 ways. One, when our clients arrive, we help them to find housing in Northeast, Northwest Baltimore, Central Baltimore, and when they live in those neighborhoods, they breathe new energy into those neighborhoods, and that helps us to achieve equitable development across the city. Secondly, when our clients find jobs, are able to access healthcare, education services, employment, they're able to build healthy communities, as Mayor Scott has outlined. Thirdly, when our youth programs work with young people who make up about 50% of the refugees that we resettle, when we help to engage them in school activities, mentorship programs, as well as employment, we're helping to prioritize youth, as it's a central pillar of the mayor's plan. And lastly, we work very closely with our clients upon arrival so that they know how to navigate a new environment, be situationally aware, work with police to report crimes and other public safety issues so that we can build a safer city. So I just want to thank you, Mayor, for your commitment to immigrants and refugees. Thank you, Catalina, as well, and we look forward to working with you.
Hi, good morning. My name is Carrie Snyder. I'm the Executive Director of the Southeast Community Development Corporation. For many years, we have helped immigrant families prevent eviction, achieve financial self-sufficiency, and buy a home in Baltimore. We have helped clients who once faced eviction prepare and eventually buy a home in Baltimore. These are some of our proudest moments. We are very aware, as Director Lima mentioned, the many obstacles our clients face when trying to access help from assistance programs for which they are often eligible, but they struggle to connect with due to language barriers, technology, confusion with documentation, and fear of immigration consequences. So on behalf of the team of Southeast CDC, some of whom are here today, I'd like to thank Mayor Scott and the team at MEMA for recognizing that strong case management is needed to overcome these obstacles. We're really grateful to do that work together with the city and to continue to work closely with the really accomplished network of partners who are here today. So thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is George Escobar. I'm Chief of Services over at CASA. First of all, I'd like to recognize the mayor. When he saw my name listed, he saw it spelled out, George Escobar, but he said Jorge Escobar. So that's cultural proficiency right there. So thank you very much, Mayor. So at CASA, we're the largest immigrant serving organization in the state. In Baltimore City alone, we have over 20,000 members. And of course, we want to thank the mayor for this strategic investment in the communities that were most disproportionately impacted by COVID. We heard here today some of the numbers, some of the dramatic impact that the COVID pandemic had on our communities. It's important to note that recovery is not just about access to a vaccine. Although critical and vital to preventing a pandemic from happening again, we're talking about economic and social investments in a community to help them rebuild. And we all know if we invest in an equitable way in our communities, that is an investment and a benefit for everybody in the city of Baltimore. So this partnership, this investment is a strategic approach to that outcome. We, of course, are very much proud to be part of this coalition. We're going to be using this investment to really invest in our communities and attain the outcome that we all want to attain. One of the important things is to be able to bring people in and screen them not only for benefits that they may be eligible for, but also screen them for opportunities for advancement, screen them from opportunities for possibly vocational training, for English language attainment, for any one of a variety of different benefits and programs that this collective brings forward to make sure that we're making an investment in the individual and in the family and assuring outcomes over the long term. At CASA, our model is not only to invest in people and provide services, but use that as an opportunity to engage with the community in a collective way. Bring them into our organization, give them a voice in the leadership of our organization, and give them the voice of rebuilding their own communities, so that we can not only address the short-term needs that our families have, but ensure that they're on a path to full recovery and full integration into our society. So again, thank you so much to Mima, and thank you so much to the mayor for this really important investment, and we look forward to working with our partners.
Good morning. My name is Erica Rocha, and I'm the Outreach and Operations Manager for Esperanza Center. Esperanza Center has been serving the Latino community in Baltimore for more than 59 years. We provide comprehensive services, and we also work with other organizations to provide referrals and we partner with them to serve our community. Thank you, Mima, for everything you do and for having us here today. Thank you, Mayor Scott, for allocating these resources for the community. Esperanza Center, we have a team of case management dedicated to provide informed services to our community. They will help clients to navigate the already difficult processes to obtain and access benefits. But we're going to be doing this in Spanish, French, and also with a legal team, helping them to understand, that they are, they can apply for these services and they can obtain these services, regarding their immigrant status sometimes. We see that sometimes our community don't get the resources available there because they are afraid, to obtain them or to apply, and go for them. So thank you so much for this.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. My name is Kirsten Sabaris-Clement. I'm here representing Lutheran Immigration and Refugee Service, which is headquartered right here in Baltimore, actually. And it is one of the largest faith-based nonprofits dedicated specifically to serving refugees, asylum seekers, and other vulnerable immigrants. Our role in this coalition, we're very thankful for Mima for including us in this coalition, will be to provide technical assistance, support, training for all of these direct service providers that you've heard from today, to kind of continue that tradition of welcome here in Baltimore City, and we're very proud and excited to be part of that. Thank you.
Knock that down again. All right. Thank you, everybody, and thank you all for your partnership and what you do for our city and our families each and every day. And we're really excited to see how this partnership takes flight. And with that, we will open up for questions.
I have a question about the dashboard online. Is it up to date? Because a lot of the information says as of July 2022. So just wanted to find out when that would be open to the public.
And that is the dashboard for vaccine.
Oh,
ARPA,
yeah,
sorry.
thank you. So as you know, we have to consistently update the federal government and the city council, and we'll continue to provide those updates and update the dashboard as we go through that process.
So that's the most updated information right now?
So if you want full reports, you can get those. We have to submit those reports to Treasury and the council. I know that We just had not too long ago a quarterly thing with the city council, and we'll make sure that they update the dashboard. But this is no secret. We're talking about the federal government. So they have a reporting process that we have to go through that is known throughout the country. And you can see every single city, every single state's what they have done and what has been submitted to them. Anybody else?
Sorry,
You go ahead.
thank you. How will the $4 million be allocated between the different partner organizations, and what will it be used for?
Yeah. So the funds will go towards salaries of 11 benefit navigators. There's also a component of immigration legal services. So we'll fund immigration attorneys and paralegals to guide clients about their rights to access to services. Then there's the component of technical assistance to Lutheran Immigration Services. And then there's a component of financial assistance for families that are in critical need to address short-term needs, whether it's water or food or anything else. And then some operational capacity at Lima to provide oversight and reporting to the Recovery Office.
Okay, I have an unrelated question for you about the homeless encampment underneath the JFX. I know it was in the farmer's market space, they were cleared out, and now they're just to the side of it. What's the update with them, and where do negotiations stand for that?
Well, this is a consistent thing, right? We know that when you're talking about I-83 or underneath I-83 and homeless, this is somewhere that homeless folks, unfortunately, have had to been longer than I've been breathing. And what we will continue to do through the Mayor's Office of Homeless Services is go out there, do the deep work of trying to provide services to individuals, because some folks may think that this is a blanket thing, but every different person who's experiencing homelessness needs different things. And the MOHS will continue to do that to try to get folks into shelter, to get folks all the assistance that they need. That happens each and every day, not just under I-83, but wherever our residents who are experiencing homelessness are. Thank you, everybody.